Much has been written and said about the nasty politics in Oak Lawn, but the written word doesn't always capture the flavor of being there. For those unable to attend a village meeting or view on local cable access government channel, well, here's a small slice of what you've been missing. The following clips are from the July 13th Board of Trustees meeting. What began as a discussion between Mayor Dave Heilmann and Village Manager Larry Deachin about engagement letters related to the large upcoming water infrastructure project degenerated into a series of attacks and accusations between Heilmann and District 6 Trustee Tom Phelan. Despite other board members' attempts to bring the discussion back to the matter before the board, and a resident's attempt to do the same by flickering the lights off and on in the council chambers, the argument continued some 20 minutes.
You can send all the emails you want.
Don't mistake.
You want to recreate history here. We all sat here and listened to what you put together.
Anything, but I know you're awfully defensive of these firms. Why do you care?
Never met one of them, don't know any of them, could care less. It's the managership, because you're taking pot shots in newspapers about political contributions of firms. I've never received $1 from any of these firms. I don't know anybody here. I'll tell you what I do know. They saved us $1 million. You know what? Query and Herald,
all of a sudden I start seeing firms
coming up
here
on a year.
All sorts of political connections.
They're
I'm
coming
going to
up.
question.
Yeah, you're going to question.
I'm going to question.
And you're going to ignore the disaster that you brought on this village with your friends, who, by the way, you admit were your friends, and you admit that they overbuilt us in the same article. The hypocrisy is staggering.
The hypocrisy, the lies you've told at this table.
The lies I told.
The lies.
Are you kidding me?
You haven't been talking to Bert Olson this entire time without admitting it to this board?
I've been talking to Bert Olson completely since January. When did I deny talking to Bert Olson?
Well, I don't know anything about the report. I don't know anything about the report.
Can we get back to the issue of this report?
Let me get back to the report of Mr. Olson. But let me get back to what I'm talking about right now. I brought that up last fall, Tom, about bond council.
Right. After we decided to investigate the former council. This same team, you sat here last summer when he presented, he didn't say a word. It was on the agenda. We all approved it unanimously. Not a word. Only until the investigation was suggested did you find a problem with these attorneys, who you acknowledge did a good job. The team that he put together, we can go back and verify. It was brought before us.
Why are you so defensive?
I'm not defensive. I could care less. I can show you emails where I said I could care less.
Tom, I have a right
because you're accusing this board directly, implicitly, through newspapers and everything else of doing things that are absurd. You know what we've done? We've saved the village money.
Well,
you know,
Tom,
we're coming up on a year with Query and Herald. 1 year. They've not charged us $500,000 yet. Okay? Remember that $500,000 number? That was the number in 2005 that you said, geez, that's too much. We got to change the way we do things here. And you know what we paid on average since then? $1 million. Not including the almost $2 million in judgments that this village suffered through because of the team you brought in. With, by the way, no engagement letters. Magically, there are no engagement letters. What? What engagement letters? The firms that you said, they got raises. When did this board ever, when were we ever told about the raises?
Well, Tom, I thought the manager hired the lawyers. I thought the manager was in charge.
You thought the manager hired the lawyers? He wasn't here, Dave.
You just talked about the raises, weren't you?
Yeah, the raises. The raises that you made us aware of.
I didn't give us the raises.
Can we get back to the point?
No, I'm going to address this. The manager approved raises. That was my point.
Yeah,
the manager
who
approved raises.
Requested the raises?
Not me.
Not you? Never came before this
Tom,
board.
you know, you look at me like that and say, as if to question, that didn't happen. I didn't bring any raise for lawyers before.
When did raises happen? That's one of the questions we've asked for the investigation.
That's a fair question.
You brought it up and you had knowledge of it. You said it was a great idea. You agreed with the manager, quote unquote, for doing it.
Aren't you a member of this board?
Absolutely.
I mean, well, I find it amazing the checkers people play with fault. You jump from this guy to this guy, and all of a sudden it jumps. But if all of these things happen, my God, where were we?
Exactly, Dave. And let's talk about where we were. Because when the issue was brought forth, maybe the people don't know, there were $1 million in invoices not given to this board. You want to talk about this being obvious?
Fair question.
$1 million in invoices. Nobody can explain why.
The same 1 year ago, I asked 1 year ago, I asked this whole board in an email, I said, bring them in. That's what we do in the practice.
Bring who in?
Bring in the lawyers, tell them what they're doing.
You suggested to this board when Trustee Rosenbaum was talking about A, the Finance Committee, and B, the Legal and Ordinance Committee, we don't need that. It's a meeting of the whole. What do we need that for? Well, we realized shortly thereafter that we did need the finance committee because nobody could ever meet, and there was nothing but problems about getting budgets done on
You're saying
time.
to abolish the finance committee.
Absolutely suggested it was a waste of
Abolishing the
time in
finance
public
committee?
meetings. Yes.
Abolishing the finance
Getting rid of it because it was a meeting of the whole. What was the point? We're all
We
here.
never abolished a finance committee.
We never got rid of the
Don't you
finance.
sit on a finance committee?
No, I do now.
But
I'm
you're saying-
talking about 2-3 years ago when your suggestion
The legal and ordinance committee.
and the finance committee that Steve Rosenbaum thought we should maintain, or that was in existence at one time, you wanted to get rid of it. Just like you wanted to get rid of the legal and ordinance committee. And there are so many questions relative to legal that it's mind-boggling that you could sit here and challenge something like this when it's clear as a bell that not only are they saving us money, they're doing an unbelievable job, and you even admit they're doing a good job.
Well, wait.
That's the hypocrisy that is so maddening that you can sit here in December and say, these are fine firms, all good guys, did a great job by all accounts, but I still got a problem. You know what your problem is?
I have a problem
You didn't
with
bring
how
them
they're
in. That's your problem. And if you don't bring them in, there's something wrong with
I
it.
have a problem with
Guess
how
what?
they're hired, 'cause I thought
We've got a stack of evidence that shows the disaster what you did
What
by
I
bringing
did.
it. That you did. If you want to sit here and act like you
I
didn't do
did.
it.
I was here. Then I was the guy.
2005.
The firm.
Did you not introduce those attorneys in front of us who told us all the things they were
I
doing?
most certainly did.
I know this. Personal friends, all of that. You assured this board.
I never met anyone from Lawson Bloomberg in my life. But I'm happy to discuss their qualifications or anybody's time.
We don't need that.
But-
We've got
I know
a
you saw
bucket full of
everything.
their qualifications.
I understand that. I know
We
you
got
got
$5 million worth of their qualifications. We've got all the evidence we need.
$5 million?
$5 million in fees in the team that you put together
Right.
from 2005
Now,
to 2008.
the fact that the major litigation is settled has no bearing on your
Right,
analysis.
the major litigation that A, we were not apprised of, B,
But it's settled.
$1 million in fees that were generated and invoices that we never saw. In a lawsuit, the SRO Napa lawsuit that we never authorized.
Do you think I kept the invoices?
Your name is all over the invoices, Mr. Mayor. 100 different references. Managers meeting with the mayor.
You mean in
strategy meeting with the
billing?
mayor. The billings that we never
Do
saw.
you think the invoices went to me?
Memo for the mayor. Insurance
No, I'm asking
coverage
you,
issue for the
do you-
mayor.
do you think
I never saw those
But
memos.
do you think the invoices that you're talking about went to me?
I didn't say they went to you, Dave. I
That's
just
my
know they
point.
didn't come to us. So you want to talk about where were we? You want to talk about how we approved bills? We didn't approve bills.
You approved
We
disbursements.
approved disbursements.
Right.
We hired people to help manage the
So
firms
you think-
that you suggested.
So
Guess what? They fell down.
There was plenty more to that exchange between Heilmann and Phelan. For this story, only about 25% of the entire argument was presented. Deachin, for his part, managed to stay above the fray. Heilmann had this to say as the meeting came to a close.
Last minute before adjourning, my apologies. I'm supposed to act better up here as the village president. I'm supposed to conduct myself better. So, with respect to those outbursts, my apologies to the board, to everybody up here. I should do better. And to Trustee Phelan, I know I should do better up here. So, we'll keep trying and forging ahead. But I do know that every single one of us, despite any disagreement, please know, everyone does want the best for the village. So we go through these struggles, but our commitment is firm, manager, clerk as well, to make sure we do the right thing. So we'll keep pushing forward.
This most recent example of infighting among village board members happened in the boardroom and was taped for residents to enjoy over and over. For Regional Publishing and the Reporter newspaper, this is Bob Jaderberg.